Hi! So today I thought I'd talk a bit about CAS in the IB system because that's something a lot of people seem to not fully understand. CAS means Creativity, Action and Service and is a mandatory part of the IB diploma program, which means that if you don't fulfill the requirements for CAS, you will not get your diploma, so you will fail. The reason why you have to do CAS as an IB student is that you should get involved in other parts of everyday life and in your hometown and environment than school. So it is basically IB's way of making an effort for you to get involved in other things and develop your talents or skills or compassion or anything like that. Over the 2 years of IB, you should have 150 hours minimum of CAS, which is not a lot because it's approximately 50 hours for each category. CAS, like everything in the IB, has some learning outcomes, which is just a sheet, and it's basically that they want you to increase awareness of own strengths, undertake new challenges, collaborate with others, do something for someone else than yourself, develop new skills, ethical implications of their actions, engage with issues of global importance, stuff like that. Exactly how strict and serious CAS is varies from school to school, where higher standards for school often also have a lot of stricter criteria for CAS, but overall it's just that you need to submit a full CAS logbook by the end of your second year. I think it's usually need to hand in all your CAS in March if you graduate in May. CAS can usually be done over the summer holiday or throughout the entire school year, and a lot of schools recommend, or you have to have some short-term projects that could be, for instance, a weekend course in something, and some long-term projects. So it goes over a couple of weeks or even a whole year. Unofficially, you could say that CAS is your guilty-free time off from studying, because it's something you need to do to pass, but it's also the time you can do anything you like, as long as it's sort of organized. For instance, for me, creativity, I play the flute and cello. I've been in Model United Nations at my school. I've participated in my school play, newspaper editor, things like that. If you take a language course, play instruments, anything like that will go for creativity. For action, I do ballet, which I started last year when I started the IB. I've also been going to the gym and getting that ticked off. I've been running. So action is basically anything that has with physical movement. So if you go to the gym, if you play football or any kind of sport, stuff like that is action. Service is basically any sort of volunteer work. So if you want to help out with homeless animals, like animal shelters, Red Cross youth, anything like that you don't do directly for your own interest or effort or gain. Profit, that's the word. If you do something you like, 150 hours is nothing. A thing you need to do for CAS is to fill out a logbook and fill out some forms. So for me, I have a logbook. It's basically just that I print out these forms, which says categorize if they're creativity, action, service, what date I did them on, how much time I spent, what type of activity I did, what I did, and other if there's some contact information or anything. And then you need to fill out a special form. So this is a form you need to fill out. It's 8 questions for you, so you can reflect about what you've done, if you've learned something, how it benefited others, how you can use what you've learned in other situations, and then your activity or project leader will have to fill that and sign it and say if you've been doing well, if you've been on time, if your effort and commitment is good, etc. The most important thing I would say about CAS is that you get things signed right away. if you are attending a long-term activity or project, you don't need to get a form filled out and signed after every single time you go there. Just simply note down what date you were, what you did, if you learned anything, how much time you spent there, and you get it signed at the very end when you're done with that activity or project. Now, I would also recommend having all your CAS papers in one place. For the moment, this is where I keep mine. I have some folders, let's see. I have some separation paper where I have the general rules and stuff, or learning outcomes for CAS. I have this form I showed you where I just write down my the activities I do as I do them. And then I have one each for creativity action service. So it's just an easy way to keep everything in one place and have it ready for submission, because by March you will have so many other things to think about that CAS should be the least of your worries. Also, by the end of your CAS career, when you hand everything in, you should go over the learning outcomes and make sure you've covered all of them, that your activities combined have satisfied all of the sort of criteria the IB have set for you. So each activity does not have to fulfill all the learning outcomes, because how could me working out, for instance, engage with issues of global importance? It doesn't. So you sort of have to mix and match your different activities and make sure that you've satisfied everything. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me or your CAS coordinator. Also, older students at your school may know what counts for CAS, etc. If there's any cool project you can do, if you want to start a project yourself, anything like that. And just remember to do everything right away, because that will save you in the IB. Fill out your CAS forms right away, do as much CAS as you can right away, and just get it out of your way. Okay, I wish you all best of luck, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!